So I missed this Xbox event, but apparently this is the big trailer that has come out of it. This is the thing everyone is sort of recommending that I check out, that I watch. And yeah, this was a game that looked so good in that first trailer that it's almost like, is this real? I actually do not know when this comes out or if it even has a release date. This gameplay is wild. Let's see. Is this game a Souls-like? Can't remember. It's not. Okay.
Another folded realm. Is this a memory from Lamarak's past?
Yeah, the visuals were crazy.
His knights were dead. Yet Lamarak sends one more. I almost admire him.
Visuals are crazy.
Tyranno! But you're one of the White King's sorceresses. You destroyed the White Lands.
That destruction is in fact salvation.
You're insane!
It does sound like my own, yeah.
Accept your defeat.
Interesting. Whoa. Okay, yeah, that looks really cool, but boy howdy, whatever this is running on is struggling. Boy howdy. It looks really good, though. Oh, interesting. They're kind of like Zelda boss fights. There's like big gimmicks.
She's human again.
There's some traditional combat action stuff here, yeah. What am I looking at, dude? What am I looking at? It looks very good. Outside of the frame rate. Ooh. Huh.
Even with your new ally, we end this here.
This feels a little scripted. Yeah. I'm curious when we play this, how it will play out.
I lend you my strength.
We fight as one.
Like, it's a full boss fight, but it looks like really scripted. It's the intro fight? Yeah, maybe it is. It would make sense if it's a tutorial fight in some way, where it's like guiding you through like really hard. Because it's not playing out like a traditional boss fight. Damn. This is cool.
Justice. Justice.
If it isn't, and the whole game is like this, it'll be really impressive. Because now there's like another dude with you, fighting with you and shit. Wow. There's some crazy visual stuff going on. This fight looks like it's already had 4 phases, and it's still in the same life bar.
Loyalty without inquiry is in itself a betrayal.
Huh. Huh.
Your loyalty has condemned this man.
Huge ball. So you just go around it? Cool. You know what? I think it looks amazing, right? I think it looks amazing, but it more comes across as like just the pace of the battle itself, not a traditional action game. It more comes across as an Asura's Wrath fight, you know? And what is another game that has effectively Asura's Wrath fights? Kind of Final Fantasy 16. FF16 had like your traditional combat sequences, and they pretty much had Asura's Wrath battles. I don't think that's going to happen here. It looks like there's definitely a focused combat system that the girl has between summoning all these dudes and stuff. The issue is, in this trailer, is that I feel like there is so many cinematic combat focused elements that are happening kind of like constantly, where it feels like her ability just to fight the boss as a one-on-one, and let me just see what she does, right? I just want to see what she does. It's like almost every other corner, the camera flips and some extra guy comes in and it changes the mechanics entirely. And now you're doing all this crazy stuff, and then it goes back to a different thing and the mechanics have changed again. Now there's this reverse world. And I'm like, okay, so is there a part where you ever just like fight a boss? I mean, it looks amazing. I think what I want is just a traditional, I'm curious about a traditional boss fight. You know what? No. I think this is absolutely real gameplay, because there ain't no way that you would produce a trailer that is a full boss fight like this and have as bad of a performance as it does. Ain't no way. So I'm going to say it's an unedited, actual, real gameplay trailer, because the frame rate's awful at times. Like, it's running really bad. So it's heavily choreographed, don't get me wrong. And that could be it. It could just be a super choreographed fight scene. Let's go back and watch the first trailer.
Is to court one's doom.
Yeah, it had the uncharted elements all over the place, yeah. Definitely FF16. Yeah, okay. This is the stuff that I like right here. Traditional enemy boss fights, right? Sick.
Feast only for the king.
Sick.
Gwendolyn,
See what I mean?
this is your final warning.
Now I'm remembering this. This is doing it for me, dude. This is cool. Still has the performance issues.
My quarrel lies not with you, but I will take back everything that belongs to me. Even if the price is my soul.
Yeah, I mean, there's a longer trailer that was released in February. That trailer did a lot more for me of making the game look cool than the very big recent cinematic boss fight. You know what? I think it's FF16 like. That the game just might be very Final Fantasy 16 inspired, where you're going to have these like super traditional action-y sequences, the exact same way that Clive has, where it's practically a Devil May Cry like or light as the game moves on. And then you get into a boss fight scenario, and the boss fights are like, or some boss fights are relatively like massive and epic. The scale almost turns into like a little bit of a different game. There's nothing wrong with that, because there is literally room to improve from Final Fantasy 16 to make that formula work. And the craziest part, Chad, is that formula was not established by Final Fantasy 16. It was established by Asura's Wrath. Asura's Wrath was that, where you have these traditional 1v1 fights that are relatively like straightforward, but like you get into these massive epic battles that sort of change exactly what the game is. Obviously, Asura's Wrath was more QTE focused, 100%, but the pace of how the game was that way. That being said, this for sure looks to be leaning much closer to a traditional character action game. Yeah, the performance seems a bit better in this trailer too.
What a beautiful sight. A perfect picture of failure.
This is very, like, even this gameplay is like 9 months old. It still looks very polished. You know what's crazy to me? We just got the FF15 action game, which was called Lost Soul Aside. Clearly very inspired with a very small development team. And now this one feels like we are getting the Final Fantasy 16 equivalent in a completely different game in Tides of Annihilation. That is almost like the Final Fantasy 16 more leaning into the action game part. Because if there was one part that in FF16 that was like pretty weak, I think most people will agree with, was the RPG parts of it. This definitely feels like it's paralleling Final Fantasy 16 a little bit. A big uninterrupted, very cinematic boss battle did not leave me as genuinely enthralled. God, it looks so good though. Did not leave me as crazy enthralled, even though some of the visual elements and this stuff that's happening here is crazy, dude. The worst part about it is that whenever the crazy situational moments happen, the game just tanks. The game is just like suffering. And it's like, okay. I genuinely feel some of the previous trailers actually leave me a bit enthused about its gameplay. And this has cool looking stuff, but it isn't like, it's not really leaning me in a direction where it's like, I can't wait. It looks better and better and better. Like this fight is cool, but at this point, I kind of want to see how it plays out, you know? Is it going to be that much of a cinematic sort of handholdy game or an action game where I make the cinematic shit happen? And that's kind of what I want. I like that in action games, you know?